a couple of weeks ago. What's your thoughts on that particular situation?
When I saw that, I was intrigued. You know, I'm a big Faizon Love fan, always have been, because I think he's like one of the stalwarts in our community for our culture, because he's always transparent. He's always real. And you always need those kind of individuals like Faizon that's going to tell the truth no matter what. And he can take the backlash or the repercussions. So, you know, with a person like Faizon, sometimes they're going to say the things that need to be said, but not everybody's going to feel. And what I felt in that situation for his side is that he's representing the culture. And see, he speaks from the culture from a standpoint of comedy that kind of comedy that's back home, like, you know, backyard, cognacs, ribs, spades, dominoes, you know, right, where our culture feels it. But everybody boxes us up as Black people. Just because we're Black, that don't mean we don't have diversity amongst our own race. So he was basically trying to say, for those who represent the culture and that stay true to the certain kind of comedy that's out there for those that want to hear that style of comedy, we need to be recognized, and it's still an outlet for that. It's a difference between, you know, success and fame. And a lot of comedians are being able to get platforms to become famous. And those that are successful, like Faizon, and those who have been doing it for the long haul, are not getting their fame or their accolades that they actually deserve. So his point, for me, it was valid, it was felt. And for the lady, personally, you know, I don't have anything against her. I think we all deserve an outlet. We all deserve an opportunity. However, it's like, it's like, you know, apples and oranges. We all have different styles. You know, her style and certain people's styles are for part of that culture or our side of the culture. And then we have another side that's basically more, you know, sort of the hip hop culture for comedy.
Let's kind of, expound on that. Talking about Faizon Love's comments he made about a month or so ago toward Nicole Byer and her new Netflix special, basically saying that only unfunny Black women are getting spots in these kind of positions. So we've had numerous comedians on. We had Godfrey on a couple of weeks ago and talked about how you have to have a certain look, and we know them type of Black actors that got that look that is corporate friendly kind of deal. But given in your experience in comedy and getting around a lot of these different personalities and stuff, what's your take on that? That certain Black personalities are the only ones getting certain camera time, or amount of camera time, I should say.
I think comedy is almost like corporate America. It's almost like Hollywood. It's almost like any setting that you're in the outside world. Sometimes it's not about selling out. It's about buying in. And if you don't buy in, you're going to be outcasted. So not everyone is going to fit that typecast. Not everyone is going to do the buck dance. And that's not to knock anybody that chooses to take that route, because it's a lane for everybody. So I think it's about an individual's personal choice to say, hey, this is my style. This is my brand. This is what I'm going to, carry my name with, you know. And I think some people like Faizon and Godfrey are cut from that cloth of real comedy, of old school comedy, that they will never tarnish their brand, or it's not in their grain to be able to sell out or water themselves down. So to me, it's almost like those that could water themselves down to acquiesce to what the mainstream might want, and those who are willing to stay where they're at and continue to be successful in their own lane, in their own right.
Right. Now, with that being said, you look at somebody like a Tiffany Haddish or a Kevin Hart, and some people will classify them under people who maybe, more so Kevin Hart, to say, that maybe watered himself down the farther he moved up the ladder. Would you say that he is one of those examples of people who kind of, scaled it back just a little bit because now he's with a bigger white corporate audience that might not feel some of the jokes that he did when Kev was on his grind?
I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, it's a difference between fame and success. You could be a successful comedian, have a successful career, and have a great following without being famous. But sometimes in order to become famous or nationwide, you have to water it down. You have to, sort of buy into what the mainstream wants. It's like we all want the best soul food and we all want, the best Jamaican food. But not every culture can take the real soul food with the seasons that we have. Not everybody can take the best Jamaican restaurants with the spices. So in order for you to get a larger audience, you're going to have to scale back on some of the seasoning. And when you scale back on some of the seasoning, you might get a larger crowd and a larger audience, but sometimes you lose the real authentic flavor and you lose that real zest that the community desires. But to me, it's not about judging one or the other. It's about staying true to yourself.
That was well put.
Definitely.
Now, one of them comedians that I think we all would agree is cut from that old school cloth, give it how it is Cat Williams. One of the best to ever do it, one of the best doing it right now. And he was caught under a lot of scrutiny about conversation.
Nigga said, oh God, you the man, Cass. I spit white like a clan mask, and I'm a hustler. I could stand out on the beach and sell sandbags. Some things can't last, but this ain't just a podcast. This is Sam Ant and Oh Godcast. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam Ant riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam Ant riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive. Go gang.